that time again. Let's dig through these bins and see if there's anything worth buying. And when you hear the sound of the chime, it's something we will look up at the end. before we get started on some of these prices, go down in the comments section and let me know what these eyes remind you of. All right, let's get started. So first thing is this amber embellished art, which I was on the fence about getting, honestly, just because it was so weird and odd. And I felt like I looked it up before I left, but I can't find anything like it now. I've looked up amber art, I've looked up amber embellished art, and I've looked up amber chip embellished art. And suddenly I can't find it. So now I'm like, what? For whatever reason, I didn't end up getting it. So let me look, let me look on the Google search again. Let me scooch it so you can see a little bit better. So amber chip, let me take out embellished, because amber chip art was pulling up like just amber chip, but not artwork. So maybe if I put amber chip art canvas, that might bring up something, but no. Let me try one more thing. I'm going to type in vintage, because I feel like I typed it in when I was there and I found something and I ended up throwing it back. I feel like I found something on Etsy. Amber embellished amber art canvas. How about real amber? Let's try real amber art canvas. Is a haha. There we go. So this is a vintage amber framed handpiece, blah 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 blah. That's up there for $23 with free shipping. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine how much this is going to cost to ship? Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, I feel like I know that name though. So I didn't end up getting that one. Surprise, surprise. So the next piece that we're going to look up is that fairy doll, which I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting. I didn't end up getting it. I think it just kind of freaked me out at the moment. But I'm looking at these like one-of-a-kind fairy dolls on Etsy. I'm not seeing the same exact one that I found at the bins. But like here's this random like autumn fairy doll. So what I did though was let's look back. I'm looking at eBay over here and I typed in purple because the one I had, that was there was purple, one of a kind fairy doll. And it may not be one of a kind, but I'm just kind of going with that assessment because it was kind of this weird, kind of like this, but that one's a polymer clay by Laurie Schroeder. Okay. But it had those big eyes and that funky hair and it had that kind of look, you know what I mean? So, and one of you guys may know, like, oh my gosh, that's a particular person, name. Maybe Laurie Schroeder does doll other fairies. I don't know. Anyway, so then I just did a Google search for my purple fairy, and maybe it's an elf. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't get it. Look at that thing. Anyway, moving on. Going back over here, let me just click on sold so we can have an idea. So maybe you see something like this when you're out and about and you think like I did, like, and I know better. I know to pick up weird, funky stuff. And for whatever reason, I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to get it this time. Look at this one, $57 for that. Yeah. Anyway, look at this. Creepy. $202 though. Come on now. There's Wednesday. Yep. Okay, so lesson learned. Next time I'm going to get the weird fairy doll, if I ever see something like that again, because some of these weird dolls can sell for a lot of money. Let me come select over here shopping on the Google search and just see what pops up. Yeah, I mean, it was different enough that I definitely shoulda, coulda bought it. Darn it. Darns it. Because look at some of these prices. All right, moving on. So our next item was the crewel geisha, and crewel work is the style of stitching that one was done in. And I'm going to need y'all to tell me that I made the right choice by leaving it behind. Because I just didn't think it was very good quality. So when I'm looking over here, these are ones that are on Etsy. And what I'm looking at when I looked on Etsy and eBay and just the Google search. I saw some kits, which I was like selling, but I'm also seeing some that are done that are selling for a lot of money. And what I'm telling myself, so I don't feel bad about not picking it up, is that the quality of the one that I didn't get wasn't as nice as some of these. Some of these are really nice, but I have a feeling that I made a mistake on that one and I'm going to eat it. So the kits, they're doing okay. But I feel like now, this is just going to be a day for me to let bygones be bygones. Look, that one only sold for $13. Good. Maybe I shouldn't feel so bad after all. But there are people that love Geisha, love Japanese, there were so many different points of entry for that piece that I should have just gotten it. Even though it wasn't like stellar the way it was put together. But I probably should have got it. Darn. Next up is this printer's press tray, and I definitely got this. Now, the thing is, with my Goodwill Outlet, with big stuff like that, they'll give you a separate price on it. I can't remember if she gave me $2 or $5. I can't quite remember. I know that the day before, when I'd gone out garage selling, I bought one of them for $15 for my sister. And then what happens? The very next day, there's one in the bins. Now, I'm looking at some of these here on Etsy that they've got up for a lot of money. And, it would be a pain to ship it, but come on, for some of these prices, might be okay. The other thing is that I see them in other places for not as much. So, for example, like on eBay, there are some up there that are like $40, or there's one that's $78. And so, at the moment, they're just like ones that we have around the house because I think I have 2 of them hanging downstairs. We put stuff in them, obviously. We put stuff in them. Anyway, but they're, if you find them cheap enough and you don't mind, I bet you could even flip them locally if you found some and you wanted to do that, then it might be worth a pickup to flip locally for, I don't know, $30 or $40, maybe even more. I know people get big prices on Etsy, but I think some of them might be a stretch. Or maybe they're just super ginormous, but they look like the size I've got. Like that one looks like mine. Okay, let's see what's next. So next was this certified international holiday plate. It had a stocking, candy canes poking out of it. And maybe I made a mistake. I see some. That one's really cool with reindeer. Some of them are selling for okay. And some were like meh. But with my bins, I really would have only paid about 10 cents for that plate if I had 20 items. So, even at $12 or $15, that would have been a fair profit. And I don't see that exact one. These are sold. So let me go back up to take it off solds and see if there's just a bunch up there. What? That's not exactly the one that I had. But, yeah, maybe I did okay leaving it behind. It was a gamble, but I probably would have picked it up again next time just because it would have been so inexpensive to pick up that it would have been worth me doing that, I think. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Now, I've sold sunglasses cases before, or glasses cases before, and some of them are worth some money, so I was looking at these Oakley ones. I didn't end up getting them, but they were not selling for that much. I've never sold Oakley ones before. Let me peek at the solds real fast. But it seems like, meh, not really worth the pickup. But I've sold Coach ones before. I'm trying to think what else I've sold. I think some Brighton sunglasses cases. Or glasses cases. Let me know, have you sold glasses cases before? Because they can be a pretty easy, cheap pickup and quick and easy to flip. All right, one last look. Tell me if you loved them or if you're glad I left them. And I will see you on the next one, everybody. Have a great week. Bye.